Alright, good morning guys, JR here. It is Thursday, April the 20th, 2017, and I'm going to see if I can record my trading day today. It looks like it might be a little bit dry, just based off what I can see from the overnight and kind of based off what we've been experiencing throughout the week, but hopefully it turns out to be a pretty decent trading day. I'm going to see if I can record my trades anyways. Probably won't get anything spectacular today, but let me be a little bit more optimistic instead of being pessimistic right off the jump. Hopefully this turns into a short. That's what I would like to see. I'd like to see this tick up, turn into a nice little trap, and then I can go ahead and short this to the downside. I wanted to short this one right here, but I figured this isn't that nice of a setup. I don't really know how to put my finger on it and explain why I don't like this too much, but if this ticks up and then turns back down with a nice bearish bar, then I'm definitely going to go ahead and short that, and then that'll be the setup that I want to see. Ideally, we're going a bit sideways right here right now, but when this does turn down, if it does turn down, then that's the trap that we need, and we'll definitely most likely go lower if we can take out these lows down here. But just gonna hit the pause, and this is gonna be my trading day, so hopefully you guys enjoy it, and hopefully we get some good trades. And another thing, my window is open, so if you hear like birds chirping and cars driving by, that's probably why. It's springtime, getting pretty nice outside, so gotta enjoy the weather while you can. But time for pause. I'll see you guys when we get some trades. Alright, so we're in this trade right here. Basically, I'm treating this like a failed second entry long. So this is our swing high. You get your first attempt to go higher right there. Pull back your second attempt to go higher right here. We're also coming off my short-term downtrend line, which this confirms it. And this is a trap. So we trapped them initially when we tick above this bullish bar right here, and then we trapped them again. That was a really fast trade, so we got that one pretty quickly. And I also have a possible trend line coming up from yesterday's previous information. I usually don't do that, but just trying to grasp some overall context of what's going on today. But this turned out to be a pretty good trade. That was pretty fast, and this was the trap that I wanted to see. And yeah, it's a failed second entry long. First attempt right here, second attempt right here. It's a trap. You turn down right off that possible trend line, which I just got off those first two swings. Get a nice bearish bar, and pretty good trade. Pretty good trade. So we'll see if we can get the runner. The first contract came off at 1 point, so that would have been, I think that is 38 flat, and then the second contract, we're going to see if we can take it off at 2 points down here at 37 flat. Actually, let me look for a measured move, and we need to see if this trend line is going to hold. So we'll figure out if that's valid in a minute. I probably can go for a little more on this one. I'm just going to leave it where it is. We'll go for the 3-point move on this. And right now it's pretty much the moment of truth. If this trend line does in fact hold, let me go ahead and mark that trade. A pretty good one, nice and fast and easy. Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting a pop down there. It's a good decent start. I only have 2 trades this whole week. I got 1 trade on Tuesday and then 1 trade yesterday. My data has been better for the most part. It's just that my bars weren't quite cooperating yesterday. And what I mean by that is I wasn't getting bad signals, but I wasn't getting the ideal type of signal bars that I would like to see to enter a trade. Let me go ahead and move this stop back down, because we could possibly bounce right here, and since this is a range, we might pull back and retest these lows before going lower if we do go lower, but I'll figure it out. But back to pause, because I don't want this video to get too lengthy. Alright, so they just stopped the runner, so I'm guessing that this trend line most likely does have some validity to it, at least right now. So we'll see how this plays out later on, if this continues to remain in play, or yeah, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so brief update. There's a second entry long right here that's just kind of like ponging off my trend line. But then again, I have a short-term downtrend working down, and we were still beneath the EMA, so I don't really like that, and it still could fail. So I'm going to play it safe, wait for a higher low or failed second entry short. Hopefully we'll get that, and then we'll have another nice trade. Alright, so a bit of a dilemma. I don't know whether or not I should go long right here, or if I should wait for a second entry in conjunction with the failed second entry, because I didn't take this second entry, which I'm not really regretting not taking it because I didn't completely like the setup, although there are several ways you probably could have looked at this. One way is the trend line that I have drawn, which I do in fact happen to like, and then there's another way where you probably could have looked at it something like this, and then this is your break, and then you get your two legs back down, and yeah, it's your second entry. It's right off the trend line. Nice, good bullish bar. It's just that EMA right there I'm not really a fan of, but that would have worked out. It would have worked out nicely for you, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and wait for the failed second entry short or the second entry long, because it is only 11:11 a.m. and there's still about 3 hours left of trading time, and I only need one more trade. So let's not get greedy, and let's just wait for the best setup. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I will admit I will be a little disappointed if this thing takes off and doesn't pull back and give me a setup, but that's part of life, and that's trading for you. So back to pause. Alright, so we're in this trade right here. Our entrance is going to be 43.50, and first target is going to come off at one point, which is going to be 44.50, and then the second target I'm actually going to take it off at 47. Let's go for 47.50. So we're going to go for 4 points on the runner and 1 point on the initial contract. So basically what we have here is we have a failed second entry short. We got a little bit of overlap right here, and it's kind of a double top, but I'm pretty certain that we're still going to go higher. I like the way that this bar closed, and once we broke above it, I actually dropped a limit order in here. One tick back, it started running off without me, so I scooted it up, and I just left it at the initial entrance where I would have gotten in if I had entered with a stop right above the failed second entry. So it's a little close to these highs, but fairly confident if we go a little higher, then we should definitely get this first target. But the ideal entry would be somewhere farther back down here, but I think we'll still be okay. Pretty big stop, full 2 point stop, and that's one tick beneath our signal bar. So we'll see what happens, but just gonna go back to pause in the meantime. Alright, so we just got that first contract. I got filled as soon as it touched my order for some reason. We haven't traded through it just yet, but let me go ahead and mark it. So that's where I entered right there. Failed second entry short, and let me explain why I'm going for 47.50 as a target. So you have a first measured move starting from today. I could measure it from down here to up top there and see if we get another leg like that, but I'm just gonna go ahead and use today's data. So you get one leg up right here, you go ahead and put that right there, and then that puts you to a target of, I think that is 47.75, and then you get a second leg kind of like right here. Let me move this out of the way. You get a second leg right here, which puts you at an estimated target of, I think, 47.25. So I'm just going to shoot for the midpoint, and based off how kind of things start reacting when we get up here to this trend line, I may slide this down a little bit, but I like an even 4 points on this trade, so we'll see if we can get that. Hopefully we don't come back and retest these highs, since this is a kind of, we started going sideways, that's a tad bit of congestion, and usually you pull back to retest those areas, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get the runner, get some runners today, because pretty good setup. And if you'll notice, this trend line has been, it's been pretty strong. We're getting pretty decent rejection off of it. So you notice we touch right there, we reject, touch right there, we reject again, touch right here, and big rejection, touch again, more rejection, didn't even touch it at this point, rejection, rejection. So you want to pay attention to those kinds of things. It's little telltales about how strong a trend is, or how strong the line or the area of support or resistance actually is. So that'll help you out, and I like the way we've rejected off this line pretty much every single time. So, and we're making higher highs and higher lows with essentially each push. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get that, but let me check this move right here. It's one leg, and then that's a measured move for that. So hopefully we don't just flip right there and come back, but I'll see what happens. Gonna go back to pause in the meantime. This will probably be my last trade for the day. 2 winners. Shoot for two or 3 trades a day, but I want to get something to eat, and yeah, so probably just 2 today. So back to pause, and we'll see what happens with this one. Oh yeah, and one more thing. Thank you guys for all the suggestions about the data. I switched it up. I tried it out. It appears to be working well. My only complaint is that yesterday some of my bars were bad for particular setups that usually I would have been able to take if I'd had a good bar, although I'd much rather have a bad bar and miss a good setup than have a bad bar in an inopportune place. We'll have a good looking bar in an inopportune place and then end up taking a terrible setup and losing money. So no complaints for what I have right now. Thank you guys for that. And one second, I'm getting a bunch of texts. Hold on. Okay, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, thank you guys for the suggestions. Everything appears to be working well. Haven't lost any trades due to bad data. Have missed a few due to not having a signal bar that I would like, but I guess that's part of the game. So thank you guys for that. Another thing is I just realized that I have not done that Q&A. I know it's been a little while. I don't know if you guys still want that. So if you still do want that, then just go ahead and drop a comment in the comment section, and yeah, I'll go ahead and see about making that. And also, if there are any questions that you would like to have answered in that Q&A, just go ahead and drop some questions down in the comment section below. If you've previously left a question on the other video where I mentioned the Q&A, you don't have to drop another question. I still remember the questions. I can go back, pull those up, and be able to answer them. But if you have any new questions and you haven't previously left one, go ahead and feel free to leave it in the comment section below on this particular video, and I will make that Q&A if you guys still want that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So back to pause until this trade plays out. Hopefully we get this 2-point runner. That'll be nice. So far we're at 3 points right now. Not 2-point, 4-point runner. So far we're at 3 points right now. So that'll make us a nice even, I think, 6 points on the day. So that'll be great. But yeah, back to pause. Alright, so we had a break of this short-term trend line working up. So what I did is I just went ahead and slid my stop up to basically these lows. We had a tad bit of congestion right here, so I slid my stop up to match those lows, and that's going to be 1 point away from my entry. So big difference from 4 points, but we'll take it if that's what we get stuck with. But hopefully this turns up right here, creates a nice little trap, and then continues going higher. That'll be nice. But I think the way Mac plays it is he draws a short-term trend line, and then once he gets a break and a break beneath a bar after the break, that's where he'll usually exit. So that's the way I'm going to play this one, and hopefully it doesn't turn out like that, but it might, because that runner is a bit of a reach, but we'll see what happens. So back to pause. Alright, so changing plans. I'm just going to go ahead and take 3 points if we can get that, because I really don't need that whole move. This was still a good trade, so that'll be an even 200 off the trade, and it's still a good trade. I don't need 4 points on that. Usually it's best to take majority of it. You don't have to get all of it, because rarely will you get all of it, and then when you try to get greedy, that's when bad things happen, and we don't want anything bad to happen. So it'd be terrible to watch this flip over and come back and stop me out for 1 point, especially when I had 3 points in the bag. So we'll take the 3 points and be grateful for it. All right, so we just got that 3-point runner. So I think that is that's 5 points for the day. Not too bad. I don't want to wait and see if this goes all the way up there. I think I want to call it quits, but yeah, that's my trading day. Took a short right here. This is a failed second entry long, so basically you kind of have a bit of a double top right here, so you can really count this all as one high. Then you get your first attempt to go higher right there, pull back, second attempt to go higher right here. This is also a trap. You go into a bit of a mini trading range, so you're kind of shorting off the highs. It's a trap. You initially trap them when you break above this bullish bar, and then you trap them again when you break above that. So I liked shorting right there. I also drew my trend line off these first two swings, and that was a nice touch off the trend line and the EMA, so that was a good short. Then my next trade was this failed second entry short right here. I got this trend line off of these first two swings. Usually I don't use this stuff from the previous day, but it was looking a bit funky today, and I realized that that fit pretty nicely, and I kind of wanted some overall context, so I liked using it in this particular scenario. And as you can see, this trend line is obviously valid. We're playing off of it on both sides. We're getting plays off the midline as well, so that's kind of a way that you can kind of gauge whether or not your trend line is correct. So this is my new swing low. I got my first entry short right here, pull back, second entry short right here. A little bit close to these highs, but I figured it would still be okay due to the fact that we were just coming off the bottom side of the trend line, and the trend is still strong for the most part. It's not an incredibly strong trend, but it's strong. It's a healthy trend, what we have right now. So I figured it was worth taking, even though it was right into these highs. I tried to put in a limit order, but it didn't want to fill me. It kind of took off without me, so I just slid my order up to exactly where it would have been on a stop, and it still worked out nicely, and we are still going higher. So that's it for today. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. This is JR, and I'll see you guys sometime next time.